in affecting the way people operate in a way which is beneficial to them. I don't want to get too political on this podcast and say what they're really doing because the video will get taken down. Once you get to a certain level of incomes and wealth, everything becomes free. And that's what I'm like now. I don't know the price of anything I eat or buy. If it's not a house or a car, even most supercars, G, I don't even know.
Most recently, there was allegations, right?
Yep.
To do with human trafficking and stuff like that.
Oh, we'll talk about that. For every dollar you make, for every pound you take, you took it from someone else. You don't make money, you take money. You're not the Federal Reserve. You can't create money from thin air. Every single pound in your bank is money you took from someone else.
Who is the real Andrew Tate?
It's a good question.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the CEO Cast, the number one place for showcasing business and entrepreneurship. Now today, you lot are in for a special episode. I'm with the 4-time kickboxing world champion, the top G, Mr. Producer, the one and only Andrew Tate himself. Come on, let's get a round of applause for that one. Come on, people.
Bro, I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with that introduction. Thank you very much. Yeah, you included the top G and everything. I'm happy with it.
You got it, bro. You got it. What are you saying? How's your day going?
It's going good, man. I'm breathing,
Yeah.
which is a good start. You know, surviving on the breadline, you know, getting the bills paid. I'm doing all right.
Especially in London where, you know, things are hot all the time.
Yeah,
like
things are hot. Yeah, the world's kind of getting like that for me now. Ever since I conquered TikTok, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, it's just people, hey, it's Top G. And some people love me, some people hate me.
Yeah.
You know, and in certain parts of the world, that's not a big deal. In other parts of the world, I'm a bit on edge. So.
How long would you say you've been conquering TikTok for? Like, how long? Because it seems like you kind of spawned out of nowhere, almost.
I put a plan together to conquer TikTok 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I've now completed my conquest.
Yeah. So,
bro, done. So I conquer TikTok faster than the nation states conquer countries, bro. 4 months, I put a plan together, boom, done. Now it's mine. I own it. Finished. Didn't spend a penny. Didn't spend a single penny on advertisements. I don't even have a TikTok account myself. Yeah. I just put a plan together. We made it happen, and it's done. So.
I want to get to that plan later on because from what I've thought, I haven't asked you directly. I'm going to ask you on this podcast, but it seems like a genius strategy. I think I know what it is.
Yeah, I'd like to say I know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Because life seems to be going pretty well. So we put the plan together and then we executed it. And a lot of the time, it's not just the plan; it's the execution and the tenacity behind the execution.
Yeah,
we were tenacious, like we always are, and we moved with speed and we got it done.
Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and set the bell notification to all so you never miss a single episode. You know what? This is why I wanted to get you on, because a lot of things that you say, a lot of clips that I see, resonate with me. Like, you see this your typical motivational speech, that shit don't motivate me. I'll be honest. There was a speech I remember about how much you want to succeed if you know something to do with breathing. There's a guy called Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
That shit, I remember everyone was like, yeah, that's so motivational. It didn't hit me.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Andrew Tate call me a brokey, call me a fucking wagey. Actually, I'm not wagey, but I'd rather that shit motivates me.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing about the way I talk and the things I say. Some people find it inspirational, and some people are upset by it, and their ego prevents them from learning from it.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of people who are really genuinely upset by what I say are the kind of people who can't truly learn anything and become successful in life.
Yeah.
I obviously know what I'm talking about to some degree, right? So if Mike Tyson walks in here and tells you he's going to teach you how to box and says you can't fight, you're a pussy. If that upsets you, then you can't learn, right? It's Mike Tyson. Just shut up and listen. Yeah. If someone, Richard Me, comes along and says, Andrew, you don't know shit, you're a dumbass and you're a brokey, I'm going to sit there and go, okay, maybe I am a brokey, Elon. Tell me something, right? I'll listen. But if you're going to sit there and go, don't call me names and not listen, you're never going to get anywhere, right? You don't become the master unless you're very, very good at being a student. And I've always been very, very good at knowing when to shut up. But I've got to a point in my life now where I don't have to shut up ever. So I don't.
How long would you say you were a student for? That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm still a student of life, right? Nobody knows everything, and there's still a lot of people who I respect and will always respect and always am quiet around and treat with absolute respect. But I've been learning for a very, very long time. I've always been very, very observant, trying to pay a lot of attention. And life really doesn't have to be that complicated. When you see somebody that has something you want, you just got to try and work out how they got it.
Yeah.
And that's the missing part. Most people see people with things they want and they don't do the second half. They don't try and work out how they got that thing. Oh, my man has a Ferrari. Okay. I wish I had a Ferrari. Okay. They don't sit there and go for an hour. How did he get a Ferrari? It doesn't cross that part is the part they don't want to do, right? They just go, oh, he has a Ferrari. Wish I had a Ferrari. And they go back to TV.
Yeah.
And that's why they lose.
You know what? Here's where I want to start, because I feel like this point here is probably the point of which your whole life revolves around. Right, I want to say, in my opinion, and that's the Matrix.
Yep.
Yeah, I want you to kind of break that down and explain it, because obviously I'm assuming you get the name from the film and the whole, what the film's about.
Yep.
But if you have to relate that to your life and life in general, what exactly is the Matrix?
When I talk about the Matrix, I'm talking about the systems which have been created by society, which are deliberately designed to enslave. In the movie, the Matrix were used for our body heat, but here in this Matrix, we're used for our efforts and our energies. And you're existing inside of a system which is deliberately rigged to make the rich richer and for the poor to stay poor.
Yeah.
And you can sit there and get upset about it. You can sit there and cry about it and say the system needs to change, which is what some people do, socialists, XYZ. But I know that's a waste of time, right? That's futile. The best thing to do is to understand the rules of the game and find a way to win. So yes, the game is rigged. Yes, the rich are always going to get richer. Yes, the poor are always going to struggle. And that's the way the game is set up. So you still need to find the best move on the chessboard. There's no point sitting there saying, I want to play a different game, because that's never going to happen. Because the people with the money are the people who have the control and they have the power. And why would they have the game set up any other way? Why would they change it? Right? It's also the basic of economics. I think a lot of people don't understand the true basics of economics. And the basics of economics state that even giving money to the poor, it ends up back in the hands of the rich. There's no way to stop the rich getting richer. I've already explained this before, but I remember during COVID when they did the stimulus checks and they passed out all this free money to everyone, $1,000. In England, they gave a lot more money, but in America, everyone got like $1,400 each and everyone was happy about it, saying, oh, he's giving money to the poor. Yeah, but what do those poor people spend that money on? Amazon stock tripled because they all went to Amazon. So Jeff Bezos got richer, right? But the fact is that there's less companies than there are people. All those $1,400 checks amongst all those people at the bottom ended up in the hands of a few companies. And the rich got richer, and you can't stop it. Doesn't matter if those people invested their money. Doesn't matter if they bought stocks. Doesn't matter if they bought crypto. Doesn't matter if they bought a house, whatever. The people who have the assets and have the companies and have the control are always going to end up getting control of the currency, and they're always going to be richer. So that's kind of how it works. And it's getting worse and worse. It's have-nots and have-yachts.
I think it's all about being an opportunist, right? Because there's a lot of crypto people here right now. And I remember you was on your video or something. Crypto was at a point where it was like £3,000. So what's that, about $5,000? I want to say something like that. I think more or less everyone here bought some. Yeah. But the whole general public thought it was going to shit. Yeah. And, the opportunity there, no one grabbed it.
Yeah, and that's another thing about opportunities, right? Because you have to be positioned to take advantage of opportunities. Yeah. It's like in chess, they say good moves come from good positions. It's true. You can't find a good move from a terrible position, right? If you're sitting at home with no money, it's hard to invest in Bitcoin at $1. It doesn't matter what it goes to, right? You got to be in a good position to take advantage of things. So you've always got to be in a position where you have a good network, you have good information, you have some kind of liquid money, you have the ability to survive without that money, you can take a risk. Like, it's hard to set yourself up. I'm in a position now where I'm in the NBA. I'm an NBA player. I can never go broke again. So it doesn't matter, right? Once you're in the NBA, I can throw $1 million at something. It doesn't matter if it works or not. So for me, it doesn't make a difference. And that's why it's so much easier. They always say the first million is the hardest, and they're completely right. Once you get to a certain point, you can gamble to a degree, right?
Well, doing my research and stuff, you haven't always been a multi-millionaire, I want to say probably near billionaire level or something like that. So when did you clock all of this? When did you find out this side of life?
I always knew that the Matrix existed, and I always knew that the traditional systems and
From what age did you know?
Say again?
From what age did you know?
I always knew.
Okay.
I just knew. Even when I was going to school and they're sitting there going, you're not going to get a good job if you don't get good grades. I was the one sitting there going, you're a liar. Shut up. I just knew the teacher was lying. I knew school was bullshit. I knew college was bullshit. I knew university was a lie. I always knew it was a trick and a con. I didn't truly understand things to the level I understand them now. But I had an intrinsic understanding, and I think everybody does. If you're in a gas station and it's 3 a.m. and a Lambo pulls up and a guy gets out of it, you're thinking criminal, drug dealer, gangster. Yeah. You're not thinking, he has a uni degree. Because you're not going to think that. So when you see money, people don't even associate the money they see with university. But then they go, I want to make money, so I'm in a university. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I think everybody knows that the system and the path they lay out for you is not a path that's going to lead to where you want to be. And I didn't know what the other path was, but that intrinsic distrust for the system and that distrust for the things they wanted me to do made me search for other avenues. And then I found them, right? And if you speak to the people who are richest, if you speak to the people you know, this is for everyone at home as well. If you speak to the people you know who have the most money and go up to them and say, hey, what made you rich? None of them say school. Do any of them say school made me rich? I got an A in GCSE. Like, who gives a shit? It's bullshit, right? So it's all indoctrination. So I knew it was indoctrination. And for that reason, I was always searching. And if you're searching, you're going to find.
Yeah.
So.
No, I always believe that as well. Growing up as well, I always thought that, here was my theory. I've got a theory of business studies. A lot of people thought I was full of shit. and stuff, yeah?
Yep.
But I want to kind of hear your opinion towards it.
Yeah.
So I've done business studies in GCSE. In my opinion, the whole textbook, everything, the teacher, everything's full of shit.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, I feel like they overcomplicate it and confuse it on purpose because they don't want entrepreneurs, right? And they want people to be stuck in the system. People said I'm full of shit because of that.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, but they teach you things that the problem is as well, it's difficult because the way that humans work and the way that we've evolved as a species is that we don't really learn lessons unless they're learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I believe that unless a lesson has taught the hard way, you're not going to learn it. You can have so many near misses and people won't learn their lesson. Bro, you must know a guy who goes out there, nearly crashes his car, doesn't slow his ass down till he wrecks it.
Yeah.
Like, this is how people are, right? So you need that pain for the lesson to sting enough to really genuinely go inside of your mind. And it's the same with everything. It's the same with driving a car or business. Truthfully, if you want to learn a lesson about business, you're going to have to suffer at some point, right? So we always say that most people are not successful with their first companies, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I get that. The truth is there's a lot of people who make a lot of money with their first company, but they just spunk it, act an idiot, and it all blows up in their face. And that's how you get the discipline on your fourth company that when you have 3 million in the bank, you just leave it there. You know, and don't be done with it. So you need to go through some pain. You need to experience some negative things. You need to have to a degree some trauma to really even learn any lessons. So yeah, business studies. You're right. The book. That's not going to teach you anything about business. You need to get out there on the streets. You need to make mistakes. You need to suffer. You need to have the tax man knocking at your door. You got to deal with all that stuff so that you make sure it doesn't happen again. I really think that humans are stupid enough to only learn the hard way. That's kind of how it works.
This episode is brought to you by Crep Chief Notify. In my time in business, I've learned that you need to seize every single opportunity, regardless of how big it is or how small it is. It's all about taking the first step. So for you watchers out there right now who want to become successful, just like Tate himself, this is a perfect way for you to find your first side hustle. Reselling is a great and easy way to start making money alongside your main job. For me personally, alongside of my podcast, I've been using Crep Chief Notify since November last year, and on average I've been making between £700 and £1,500 a month. Their platform literally tells me what to sell, how to sell it, how to acquire it, where to sell it, everything you need to know, so it takes up minimal amount of your time. Like I said, I've been making anywhere between £700 and £1,500 a month. That's only doing a few hours a week. It's quite simple, to be fair. All you got to do is sign up to their service. They show you what are the current hot products to resell, where to get them, and where to sell them. But not only that, but the plus side of it is as well, there's over 50,000 entrepreneurs that use their service, and as we know, your network is your net worth. So if you weren't already signed up, make sure you sign up now. So get started on your first side hustle today using Crep Chief Notify. Sign up using the link in the description below, and you'll be one step closer to the life you've always dreamt of. Like I said, the link is in the description as well, so make sure you sign up right now. And also they've got a YouTube channel, just write in Crep Chief Notify, and you can see exactly how the whole platform works. Before we dive more deep into your story, firstly we need like 20,000 likes on this video. Secondly, I want to ask you one last question before we dive deep into your life here. I googled your net worth, right?
Okay.
And it says $30 million. How accurate is that? Because let me just say before this, I see a $5 million Bugatti, and I'm like, maybe a guy with $30 million won't spend his money on a $5 million Bugatti. Don't make sense. So he's probably got some.
Yeah, you know what's actually the saying